everybody. This is Marley K. Hope you all are well. I have a video that I want to share with you because it is relative to the transition into the new system that is coming online, probably beginning in the late summer, but who knows how it's going to go. Could go faster, could go slower. We don't know. But anywho, um, Southern Prepper One, someone that I follow pretty much every day on YouTube, did a really good video about working on his alternative economy, the black market in your local area. Or, like I like to say, um, how you hobo through life with, the people that you know around you. And I'll just give you a perfect example. Last week I was digging up my yard because I was getting ready to plant some seeds so I can work on an edible landscaping project for, my gardening. And I hit a water line with the shovel. I have been asking folks to come and help me till my areas that I wanted, and everybody was like, oh, something was wrong with the tiller, or they try to get around to it. But anyway, they did it. So I just took a good old shovel and did like the ancestors did. I dug my own stuff up. So I dug up around the house where I wanted to plant, and then I also dug up the backyard where I was going to have a bigger plot. Now, it took me a minute. Don't get it twisted. I'm sister old, so it took me a minute, but I did it. And in the process, I hit a water line, and water just came gushing up out of the um, ground. And it was a shallow line, so there's no way, it wasn't marked, so I wouldn't have known it was there. And I didn't know anybody. And if I had called a professional plumber in town, they were going to charge me anywhere from $85 to like $150 just to come out, and then charge me to fix something that was fairly minor. So I was able to get a neighbor to turn the water off from the outside, so the water, from the street, so that the water wouldn't run. But everybody we called could not come until later on that day, so I wouldn't have water. So I called my friend in Atlanta who used to live here, but he's a general contractor. And I was like, I don't know anybody. I just moved back. I don't know anybody that does this particular thing. And so he rattled off like 3 or 4 names, and then he gave me the phone numbers of one person in particular that he recommended. So I called the man, and the man, just by the grace of the Most High, was around the corner and 10 minutes away from my house. And so in about 30 minutes, he came, he fixed what I needed. He went to the store, got the part. He already had all the other stuff. And it was really a minor thing to repair for someone who knew what they were doing. He charged me $26 to fix it, something, that all in totality probably took him 15 minutes to do. And I paid him extra, and I just gave him a huge hug because I was so grateful. I didn't know anybody, but I knew somebody who knew people because he was from this town. And so that's one of the examples that I have about living in a place where it's small enough to know people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be small. You just need to know people. And as Black people, we're coming up upon a time where we're going to have to know people who know how to do things manually with their hands and are thinkers in order to survive. So I was thankful, and he was like, call me anytime, and I was so grateful. So I saved his number, and then I called my friend, and I was like, thank you so much, because I called you and you knew someone, and so it worked out. But just because I have a connection with someone who knows how to do things, manually. He's a contractor, so he builds houses. He does everything: electrical work, plumbing, anything. Lays bricks, builds decks, does flooring, anything that you need. He does it, but he also knows other people who does the same sort of thing. And so he's a valuable person. I hope I will be valuable to him when he needs me. But I'm a woman, so I don't know, what types of things a man may be in need of. I can sew, I can cook, I can do manual labor. I can do a lot of things manually. I don't like to, but I can do them if I have to. And I've been programming my mind to adjust to the fact that I'm going to have to do some things that I don't necessarily like to do because I've been a little pampered princess working on my computer for years now in offices in AC. So we don't know what we're going to have to do when we have to, if you decide not to participate in this new beast economy, this final system that is getting ready to come online. But you're going to have to learn how to do things counter to the way that this system is encouraging us or pushing us into doing them. So I'm going to play this video and then I'll share the rest of my thoughts afterwards.
Hey YouTube, it's the Purple One. Today, a bunch of subversive stuff going on at my house. There's a lot of talk about the dollar collapsing, and if it collapses, it's done on purpose. So they can bring in the new digital dollar, and that's a real threat to freedom. They'll be able to control your life, no questions asked. They'll know where your money's spent. And if you haven't got into and studied it, look into it, but it's a bad thing. So we're doing some subversive things over here. We have a buddy of ours that's a mechanic, and he's over here, and we got 3 vehicles. He's going to be doing some maintenance on them, trying to get them in tip-top shape. Never know what tomorrow will bring. So he's, changing oil, some brake pads, all kinds of stuff, literally all kinds of stuff, transmission fluid. You might say, Dave, why don't you do it yourself? We could. It'll take me twice as long. Plus, I want to have a connection with a great, honest auto mechanic that will come to your house with his van. So that's the subversive things, because we want to be independent of the system. If we go digital, it's going to be hard to, but it takes time now to develop those relationships. So I'm trying to develop relationships with everyone, from local farmers, people that make honey, to everything I'm going to need. I want a small person. Throw in someone that believes the same way I do and does not like big government, and it's a win-win for everyone. So that's why I'll gladly pay this man, and really this man charges not enough. I don't know what the final bill will be, but I guarantee you I'll probably give him $50 more for coming to my house, because he's well worth it. He sells himself too cheap. I know he has huge integrity. He will do whatever it takes to fix that vehicle and do it like he's fixing his vehicle. He's not going to gouge me one penny. So that's what's going on. Subversive stuff, man, freedom. So right now I can pay him in Federal Reserve notes. One day I might not be able to pay him Federal Reserve notes. It might all be digital. So there's going to have to be something as a means of exchange. And through history, whenever there's tyrants in control of the economy, a black market always pops up. And history of the black market, it could be paid in all kinds of stuff. Anywhere from booze to gold to silver to whatever the market has come up with. So that's why I like to have a bunch of silver. Silver's your everyday things to buy. Gold is when you buy your big stuff, machinery, property, a farm, a big old cow. Silver is for the little things. So getting the vehicles right up there, perfect. So that goes back to, do you have enough stuff stockpiled? Because if this mechanic can fix anything, but he needs oil, he needs spark plugs, he needs this, he needs that, he needs wiper blades. So the key is you better stock it now. Figure out what your vehicle needs, put it back. Because he might have trouble getting the parts for your vehicle, because the part shop might want him part of the digital dollar, and they'll say, no, nope, you got to have an account here, you got to be part of the system. So now is the reason to get everything you can. If you got cash sitting around, and I know people say, Dave, I got no cash left, dude. When I pay my bills, I got $50, $100. That's all I got to get through. And I know that's hard. But if you're sitting on some cash thinking, what should I do with this cash? Because the banking system is in trouble. They didn't do anything to fix it. They put Band-Aids on it, but it's going to be worse. So next week's going to be interesting. What's going to happen with the economy? I don't know. I pray. So we're really doing some subversive stuff over here, supporting a small business, supporting a person that might not want to be part of the system one day. You better get your relationships ironed out now, because when this comes down, you're not going to build a relationship if you don't know the person now. He's not going to trust you either and say, no, I don't want to be part of the black, on the black market, because he doesn't know who you are. So build relationships now if you can. I hope you're having a good day. This coming up Monday is going to be interesting. Gold has popped. I don't know what it did last week as a whole. I think Friday did like $65 or $68 up. Silver's up. That's all because no one wants the dollar. And when the dollar falls, it's going to fall hard, quick, fast. You better be ready. And I'm not here to scare you. I hope you got a plan. There's not much you can. You can do whatever you can do with what you got, and then after that, just trust God that He's going to take care of you. So, subversive stuff at the compound today. I hope you find your other people out there that will support you without a digital currency. Remember, that digital currency is also going to be tied into a social score. And you know what? I'm in the negatives on my social score. So, keep prepping, keep praying, and we'll see what the banking system does on Monday and next week. Thanks for watching.
All right. So, as you can see, I like Southern Prepper because he's always forward thinking. And, the nice thing about being in the area, where you either grew up or you're familiar with people, what people do. My dad is a mechanic. He drives trucks. So if I need a mechanic, he has tools. He'll put them in his car. He'll drive. He'll fix, whatever I need fixed. But I also know lots of men who know how to tinker and fix things. As a single woman, that's really important. If you're a single woman, you really need to be trying to think of how you're going to be of value to people in your circle or people in your community, or just for the things that you need. And let me tell y'all, sisters, nobody wants your crotch, okay? Nobody wants that when times are bad. Nobody's buying it. In fact, people be out here raping and wilding in the streets, snatching stuff. Things gonna be off the chain. So if you are a feminist and you think you're gonna be good without a man, wait till your car breaks down. Wait till your roof starts leaking. Wait till somebody kicks in your door, breaks your window, and you need to have it repaired. Wait till you need to do car repairs if you don't know how to change tires, things like that. Feminism has done a number on a lot of sisters, And y'all are really going to struggle when it comes time for the bad to happen, because your attitude is going to be so bad. You know, the first thing, most normal men are going to be like, well, where's your man? Okay, well, you don't have a man. Well, if you have a man, how come you got a man that don't know how to do nothing? You know, dude can't change the tire. He can't patch your roof. He can't cut the grass. He can't change your oil in your car. He can't do any plumbing work. He can't fix the toilet. He can't fix pipes. He don't know nothing. He's of no use to you if he does not have money. And or if you decide you don't want to participate in this new economy, what can he do? Is he of value to you? Is he of value to anyone else? Can you exchange or barter services? Or is he dead weight? If you are one of these women who think, I don't need a man, you're going to need men to do some things in your life. So you should probably be having a come to Jesus meeting with yourself and get over yourselves and your ideologies that have got us all messed up. Because you're not going to be able to live without a man, even if it's, for protection. A lot of women don't even own anything to protect themselves physically. So, who's going to protect you? Do you have dad? Do you have brothers? Do you know many of your family that can do things? Are you trying to make yourself available so that y'all can barter? Are you of value? What do you do? Sex and cooking is not going to be enough. What other skills do you have? Can you sew? Can you clean? Can you do outside work? Um, for me, I got loads and loads of seeds. I'm going to grow stuff for people who can't grow things, and maybe sell vegetables or trade vegetables, because we won't be able to sell anything. Um, Teach people how to make things out of their old clothes. Like, you can use old t-shirts and make underwear. If you can't go to the store, we're all gonna need underwear, especially if you got growing kids. Now, if you're old and grown like me, you could just patch your little drawers on up and keep on pushing. Your socks old, just patch them up, keep pushing. I got me some shoe repair stuff. If folks' shoes start tearing up, I'm gonna be fixing shoes. I got hygiene products. I'm gonna trade hygiene products for things that I might need. Um, I don't know. I've been buying some tools for things that I might need around the house. You have to really start thinking about what you're going to need to live if you're planning on transitioning out of this system. You're going to need to know people who know how to do things. If you have a car and you don't know how to fix cars, you need to know a mechanic. If you eat and the grocery store isn't open, do you know people who sell produce, who sell vegetables, who sell meat, chickens, cows? If you eat pork, pigs. Do you hunt? Do you know people who hunt? Do you know any meat processors? Do you know how to process meat on your own? If you can't go to a processor because you can't afford it or because the processor is being watched, there are so many things that you really need to be thinking about that most people do not think about. But having a plan for black market or underground economy is going to be essential. If you don't know how to do anything and you have money, you need to buy things of value like alcohol, cigarettes, things that people will trade that they find valuable and that are comfort things that people can't necessarily get because it's too expensive. Sweet stuff, sugar, honeys, syrups, um, teas, just, think about those types of things because we are not going to have any money. And if you're like me, your social credit score will be poopies. My social credit score is going to be poopies. So I'm not going to get nothing. I'm probably not going to be allowed to go in the grocery store. That's why it's imperative for me to figure out how I'm going to eat and drink water and live. Um, but I've been thinking about it for the last couple of years because I know that time is coming. So it's better to be in a place where, you know, people live off the land and there's a history of people doing manual labor versus a bunch of people who don't know how to or respect those types of people, because it's going to be useless being around a bunch of people who don't know how to do anything with their hands. You know, are you a barber? Can you exchange haircuts for something? Even if you're not a professional barber, if you buy hair, clippers, and you're pretty good at cutting hair, people are going to need, to have their hair done. Back in the day, when I was poor and I lived in the hood, I used to do hair in my apartment. I had all kind of hair products, and I would bring people to my apartment, and I would do hair. Um, you just have to do what you have to do. But if you've never lived like that, it's really going to be a challenge for you. And so you need to work on knowing who's in your immediate community, what they do for a living, um, if they have any, you know, side hustles or hobbies or skills that can be useful and tangible things that people can do um, in the event that you decide not to participate in this beast system that's getting ready to come online. Even just manual labor. I've had people ask me, would I help them with their garden? Yes, because guess what? If I help you, if I have some issues, maybe your garden is successful and we could share food. Um, that's how you have to think. If you have more space on your balcony to grow food and you got a sunny spot and your neighbor doesn't, maybe your neighbor helps you buy seeds and y'all take turns, with the garden, and y'all share crops. You're gonna have to figure out a way to do things to develop your own underground economy, and you'll need to be able to work with trusted people. So I've been out making friends with people, the Mennonite community. I always go, when I go, I always dress the same. I put a head wrap on my head so they'll know I'm a different type of Black woman. I'm not all the other Black women. I'm a different type of Black woman. And, I let them know, hey, if anything happens, I will be coming to buy your goods. Um, and that works. Everybody's not necessarily thinking like that, but I want to be a familiar face because, again, I understand that a lot of our people don't own a lot of things that people will need to buy or need to have and want to trade should things go south and um, we decide not to use the digital economy. So I just wanted to share the alternative economy video, and do some ideas and share some stories about how it could work and what it would look like. And if you don't have those types of people in your circles, you need to know them. You need to start talking to them. You need to start utilizing their services now so that, you can have their phone numbers in your phone. They can have your phone numbers. You can pay them now and give them a little extra if you need to. That way, when things get bad, they they know who you are. They're more likely, they're more willing and likely to go above and beyond for you versus someone who's a complete stranger and they have to trust you and you have to trust them, and you don't know if they're going to rob you. You don't know if, they don't know if you're going to rob them. You don't want to be in that type of situation. when it's too late. So work on developing your relationships with people, work on looking around your home and seeing what you need, what you're short of. And again, if you are one of these independent women who think you don't need a man, that's not gonna fly. If you own a house, if you own a car, if you you know don't know how to do plumbing, if you don't know anything about electricity, wiring, you better get you some man friends, honey, because you're gonna be out in the cold looking crazy. Because men are not gonna be as nice and patient with you during hit the fan scenario. They're just not. They're gonna be stressed. They're gonna be trying to take care of their own families and their own people that they have to look after. And so nobody's gonna have time for your attitude or your stumbling and stammering because you were antisocial when things were good and things are bad. Then you're just like, oh well, now I need somebody. You know, you people will know what type of person you were, and they'll remember, especially if you deal with people who are in your circle. So, sisters, I'm imploring y'all to rethink your positions because it's gonna be ugly out here, and men are not gonna be buying no coochie, and they're not gonna be thinking about sex. They will be thinking about sex, but they're not. It's not gonna be what you think it is. You're not gonna be valuable because things are going to be different and everybody going to be offering the same thing you got. So they may take you up on your offer and they may not, but I just wouldn't be put in that situation. Make good decisions now so that you don't have to make bad decisions later. Same for men. If you are a man and all you know how to do is play video games and look good, you better be trying to figure out what you're going to do. Nobody want no good looking man who don't know how to fix nothing. You don't know nothing. You can't, you don't have any friends who know anything about anything that is needed to survive. You're going to be like a big old child. And trust me, you're going to get old real quick when a sister is desperate for something that's, you know, necessary for survival. And you sitting up there looking at her like you crazy, but you look good. That ain't going to fly either. So keep prepping, keep praying. Think about your alternative economy circle. Develop that. And have no fear because our ancestors did it and survived. We can do it too. We don't have to be afraid, but we do need to be prepared. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. This is Marley K, and I am out of here.